ELI5. Why can't we just remove greenhouse gases from the atmosphere? What are the technological impediments to sucking greenhouse gases from the atmosphere and displacing them elsewhere? Jettisoning them into space, for example. The thing that all the comments thus far are missing is that there really isn't that much CO2 in the air. Not denying climate science, it's just a fact. CO2 makes up about 0.04% of the atmosphere. Technologies exist to scrub CO2 from air. They aren't perfect, but let's assume for a second that they are. To remove 1 ton of CO2 from the air, we'd need to process about 2,500 tons of air. Air is famously not very heavy. 2,500 tons of air, about 2 billion liters of air. That's about twice the amount of space the Empire State Building takes up. That's to remove only 1 ton of CO2. How much CO2 do we need to remove? That's hard to pin down. But a lot. One number I've found is 10 billion tons every year. To remove that much CO2, we'd need to process 19 billion liters of air. That's all the air in the entire USA from the ground up, 1.2 miles, almost 2 kilometers. Moving air, with fans and compressors, is surprisingly energy intensive. Moving that much air would use a lot of energy and therefore cost a lot of money. A really rough calculation of fan power, I'm not a fan guy, so this might be way off, indicates that it would take about 800 gigawatts of power continuously to move that much air in a year, plus extra power to process the air. That's somewhere between 130 and 270 million households worth of power. If you build this hypothetical facility today in the USA, it would generate about 2 billion additional tons of CO2. That much electricity would cost more than $1 trillion, and that would only pay to move the air around. Removing the CO2 uses more energy. Compressing or storing the CO2 uses even more energy. This is why carbon capture projects are built into the exhaust systems of processes that burn things, like coal power plants, because the exhaust has a much higher percentage of CO2.